As we head over the next few days, thankfully we're seeing temperatures on the way up after a day in the 60s and just in time for the Mother's Day weekend, feeling a whole lot like summer. But in the meantime, tonight we have one more chilly night and even potentially a frosty night across parts of the area with temperatures dipping down to the middle 30s. So we have frost advisories posted for most of the area. The exceptions are Lee County and then into Whiteside, Carroll, and Jodavious counties. That's in effect from 1 to 8 a.m. tomorrow. So if you have any outside plants and you haven't covered them up or brought them in yet, make sure to do that before you head into bed before we get into these cooler temperatures. And then also, if you have the car outside in the driveway or out on the street, you may want to have that ice scraper ready just in case, or be ready to leave the car running a little bit to warm it up. And also, you should have that jacket ready as you head out the door. Now, temperatures this cool this late in the spring is not out of the norm at all. In fact, our 30-year average for our last frost of the spring comes in on May 9th, which is tomorrow. The all-time average, since records have been kept, goes to May 12th. That's the all-time average the last 30 years. We seem to have the last frost of the spring a little bit earlier on, but we can have frosts as late as early June across the area. So let's not jump ahead of ourselves and say this is definitively the last frost, but as we see temperatures climbing over the next few days, it's not too unreasonable of a thing to say. So we'll wake up with a chilly one tomorrow, so have that jacket ready. But by the afternoon, we can probably get rid of the jacket as temperatures climb well into the 60s towards that 70-degree mark into the afternoon. Calm winds, clear skies, a gorgeous day out there to wrap up the work week. And it gets even better as we head into the weekend. Saturday sees temperatures jumping well into the 70s. I can't rule out a stray sprinkle. We do have a weak cold front that'll be sweeping into the area. That does bring our winds from out of the west to out of the east. That's really going to be the big thing there. But again, just can't rule out a stray sprinkle, though. I think the vast majority of our area is dry on Saturday. We all are definitely dry heading into Sunday as temperatures climb towards that 80-degree mark as we continue to see that temperature warming on up, but we do stay dry through the weekend, which is not necessarily all that good of news, especially across far northwest Illinois, where we continue to see moderate drought. And as we get into the growing season, some rain would definitely be appreciated. And we do see better chances for rain coming in next week as temperatures continue to climb. Highs getting well into the 80s, low temperatures only in the 60s. So quite the summer-like week next week, but with those chances for rain coming in as soon as Tuesday, potentially again heading into Thursday.